Alright folks, here's a presentation for you on the artist collective Everywhere. They are a duo from Korea, which includes Hyunwoo Bang and Yunsul Hyo. They both studied and received their PhDs from Seoul National University, and I believe they both still work at the university. They are new media artists, and their site is everywhere.kr. These two artists work with new media, digital projections, and multimedia systems, also heavily reliant on computer vision, but looking at depth tracking as well. They're concerned with the human body, but often the human body as actuated through something else and not just capturing the raw body itself. So the first piece I'm going to show you is Grassfire. In this piece, the algorithm is searching through the captured camera view of a drawing pad you can see in the lower right here, a light board. And it's going to chop the image up into regions or sections, or what we might call blobs. And then it's going to fill each discrete section, as judged by the white-black video frame, with a different color of dots. So here's a little video of that. And so you can see the algorithm automatically finds new regions and recolorizes the entire canvas as those regions are added. Okay. Later in 2009, they did Candlelight. This is a really beautiful piece where they're using a flocking algorithm to create these bursts of little flocking creatures around candles. So the table that these candles are on is in fact an LED HD monitor, and they're using above the table an infrared camera to track the candles. So the candles give off a lot of heat that shows up as really distinct points to an infrared camera, so they can have the origins of these flocks, pinpoint to those points in the video plane. Here's a video of this one. So you can see there's incredibly precise tracking between the location of the candles and the origination of these flock effects. They also did this piece, Soak. This is one of my favorite pieces of theirs. It's a table that's covered in a stretchy fabric material. It's rear projected from underneath. Where you touch, the fabric appears to be hit by pigmented ink or paint that soaks into the material and expands, almost like a watercolor painting. There's a Connect underneath the table as well that's reading the deflections in that fabric surface, which is how it knows where to place the pigment. So it is a touch screen, but it is not a glass touch screen that we're familiar with. It has a much more tangible and tactile response to it. They've got a very nice algorithm for figuring out how the ink blots diffuse onto the fabric. Each time you touch, it quasi-randomly picks a new color. So you'll notice that all the colors in each interaction session go pretty well together. It's not like completely random. It's selecting from a color palette. You could see the projector and connect there. And I think they had a system set up with the exhibit where you could like purchase a print of your soaked painting afterwards if you wanted to, right? Which is an interesting way to commercialize an art piece. There's an example of one. Okay, Klank from 2011 is a more fun kind of piece with some ping pong balls. I will show you that as well. So it starts out as a projection of the user or viewer in these circles. And you can throw a ping pong ball against the wall, and if you hit a circle, it shatters. And new ones appear. Here's another piece that they're doing with this like strike effect, a series of drums that are projected from above with a pattern that kind of captures the drummer's hand. And makes a projected light pattern. It's nice work. One thing I'd like to see with pieces like this, where they're clearly using an instrument, would be to have a performer actually, a drummer actually do a drum performance with them. Would be interesting to see too how the light responds to a more rhythmic playing. The last piece of Everywhere I'm going to show you is Cloud Pink, very similar to Soak but upside down. So this time the stretchy fabric is on the ceiling and you can reach up and touch it to make cloud forms appear. So again, it's using the same connect and projector system. So I like Everywhere because they show these simple ways that you can use interactive media to engage an audience with the work without necessarily being extremely political about it, as we've seen with some of the other artists.